Hi guys, it's Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, where we carry the largest selection of wood flowers in the United States. Welcome back to another tutorial. It's been a while. This is the first time in a very long time that I haven't posted up videos, and this thing to admit is I had videos to post. But the holidays have come and gone, and those videos were based around the holidays, and by the time I felt mentally ready to post again, we'll post them next year. And I won't say the other thoughts that are in my head as we go through. We're gonna be gentle with ourselves today. Hopefully that intro did scare the out of you and you're like, I'm not watching this video. Stick around. It's gonna be a cozy one. I've noticed recently there's a lot more people who are being introduced to wood flowers. So if you've stumbled across this video and are just starting to get your footing in the wood flower world, so to speak, welcome. I'm so glad you found us here on our little corner of the internet. So I wanted to introduce Oh You're Lovely once again. Typically around the beginning of the year, I do a frequently asked questions kind of thing, or how to get started with wood flowers type of project video tutorial. And I was looking through our history, and I think the last time I did one was like 3 years ago. So we're going to do one today, but it's not going to be the same as what we've done before. So where's the fun in that? Plus you can watch the one we did before. Not much has changed in those 3 years besides my hair. My hair changes often if you get to start watching some of our videos, which we have hundreds of videos here on the channel. So I hope you'll stick around and hang out with us. So today we are going to deep dive a little bit into wood flowers, and I am going to show you the simplest, easiest way to bring wood flowers into your life. There is no dyeing, there is no stemming, none of that. So if that interests you, come hang out with me. We're gonna sit down, we're gonna chat, we're gonna talk all about wood flowers, and we're going to make a project to get them into your home for the first time possibly, and hopefully not just this time, but for projects and projects and projects to come throughout whatever time you need them. That's a lot to say in the beginning of an intro. Also this year, I am dedicating a lot of my time and energy with Oh You're Lovely to encouraging people to create. And if it's with our wood flowers, that is wonderful. But even if it's not with our wood flowers, I hope it is. But even if it's not, I hope that this is a catalyst for you to be creative in your life. Because creativity, I think now more than ever, is very, very important. So I'm not gonna cry, but I am a crier. So I'm gonna get my tear ducts to chill out for a second, and I'm gonna sit down and let's just talk about the wonderful world that is wood flowers and Oh You're Lovely. All right, so today's project, to get into wood flowers where you don't have to stem or dye a flower, but I am going to talk a little bit about those things as well, if you're interested, and I'll make sure to link to that video I was talking about in the intro in regards to a very simple step-by-step getting started with wood flowers, how to dye them, how to stem them, and how to make a very simple arrangement. But if you're not ready for that, let me introduce you to Potpourri. Okay, so here, I am 41 years old. I had to check and double check with my parents and do some math because I know the year I was born, but I forget my birth, or how old I am now. I have never been a huge fan of Potpourri until recently. I don't know if that's something that happens when you turn 40, that all of a sudden you're like, oh, not a bad idea. But I want it to be not, God bless my grandmother. I love you, Grandma. You know I do. but I don't want it to be my grandma's potpourri, right? So we're gonna, but you know what? The thing we learned from our elders, they knew some stuff, and we just don't want to do it because we're like, oh, they're old. What do they know? They know a lot. They know a lot. Sorry about that noise. So I got this potpourri holder from Kirkland's. Again, aging myself. So hopefully you youngins who are hanging out will stick around. Kirkland's, they got some nice stuff. They got some nice stuff. So this lovely bowl here, it's a lot of noise, is what we're gonna use for our potpourri. And I have some thoughts on this because we are gonna use a potpourri mixture for this. Now, I found mine at the thrift store. I'm a huge thrifter, so I got this for less than $1.50 from my local thrift store. I found it by chance, and it's in great condition. I don't think it's ever actually even been opened, and I can smell it through the packaging. It gives me like this apple kind of cider vibe, which is awesome. But what I'm gonna do, along with putting in this potpourri, is I am gonna scent the flowers a little bit. Now here's some other thoughts I have about this. Now again, this is the first time I've ever tried potpourri, but you can do a couple different things. You can make your own potpourri mix if you want. If you're so inclined, if you enjoy that kind of stuff, go at it, have fun. Make your own custom blend scent. Awesome, more power to you. Support another small business that loves to make potpourri or scented like home fragrances. The other thing you could do, now I haven't tested this out in my theory, but just from knowing what I know, this probably will work, is that you could scent multiple different flowers. These flowers are made from wood. They're made from Sola wood, typically found in India, is where we source and work with artists for all of our flowers. And the thing about the wood flowers that's amazing, they are all made by hand. These cannot be replicated with a machine. Similar to, what is it, crocheting? Crocheting cannot be done by a machine. If it's truly crocheted, it is done by hand with a hook and fiber. Wood flowers, the type of wood that is used, this Sola wood that is found in India, there are no machines that we're aware of at this time that can make the flowers the way that they are made. They are made by hand, one by one, tied off with string. How amazing is that? So they are made from wood, and because of that, wood can be a diffuser of scents. So you can take essential oils or fragrance oils of your choice, and what I like to do when I use the oils is to put it on the back of the flower. Because it's oil, it's going to leave a residue mark. Now you can use this on both dyed flowers and raw flowers, okay? And it's going to change the coloring of the flower. Hence why I like to put it on the back, on the underside of the flower, especially if I'm gonna be using it for an arrangement or a bouquet, then you're not gonna see any oil spots. If it doesn't matter to you, just sprinkle them all over wherever or however you want to, or maybe even spritz it with like a misting instead, so you have these fine little spots of oil. Otherwise, you can take the oil and put it down in the center of the flower, maybe where it would be less noticeable. It's really up to you. But I could see you making a fragrance mix with a bunch of the wood flowers and just pop it in a bowl. Like, just have all of your flowers in the bowl with the scent mix that you've made, and you can refresh it or change it out seasonally, color stories, what have you. Like, we have this beautiful, now here's the thing about dyed flowers. At Oh You're Lovely, we've been around now for 6 years. Within those 6 years, Maggie and I'm Stephanie, and I said that at the beginning of the video. I'm Stephanie. My business partner and co-founder is Maggie. Maggie's in North Carolina. That's where we ship all of our product. I'm here in my home studio in Wisconsin. But the thing is, Maggie and I have known each other since we were about 7 years old. We grew up in a teeny tiny little farm town in Wisconsin. And when we graduated high school, we went our own ways and reconnected years later on the good old internet. I have my pluses and minuses to the internet, but the internet in this way, it was a big, huge plus. It connected us together. We both had gone on our own separate ways. Creativity was a very big thing for both of us in different genres, and we connected over these wood flowers. And as the big places in showbiz say, the rest is history. Oh You're Lovely's been around now for 6 years, and we just, I can say for both her and me, I'll put words in her mouth. We are still enamored with these wood flowers and what such a beautiful, tiny little product. It can be life-changing, which is very dramatic to say, but in my heart of hearts, believe is true. So anyway, when we first started, we did not have dyed flowers available. It was just something that we weren't able to do with the workforce that we had, the team and the power. It was just not something that we were able to do. And over the years, we've been able to make it work in that we offer a variety of dyed assortments throughout the year. We come up with new color palettes, seasonally based, things like that. We then started offering single individual flowers that are one single color. So we have those as well. And we have some other things up our sleeves when it comes to the dyed flowers. At this time, however, we do not offer custom dyeing. I know that has been asked before, but it's just not something that we have the manpower in order to do. So if it is something that you guys really, really, really want down the line, like you could be a part of that to make that happen. But at this time, we're not able to offer custom dyeing. So if you're interested in the flowers, but you're not interested in dyeing them, the only way to work with us in that vicinity is to get the dyed assortments when we have them available, or the single style flowers. Now, with that being said, dyeing the flowers, super, super easy. I had heard once, years and years ago, if you can dye an Easter egg, you can dye a wood flower, and that is so true. It really is. You just need 1 part water, 1 part paint. When it comes to the paint, craft acrylic paint is what I used when I first started. And then a lot of people and customers were sharing their information with us. And the thing about our company is we started off because we just loved the wood flowers. They were so cool, and we wanted to get them in the hands of others who are creative to see what they could do with the product. And boy, oh boy, can you guys do amazing things with these wood flowers. And we learn from you as much as we teach. So with that, people had started using latex paint, and I am a very curious person, so I started trying out all sorts of different craft supplies, and pretty much if it can be watered down, or if it is a way to transfer a color, it almost always works. If it can be put on wood, it can be used for the wood flowers. So inks work, fabric dyes work, mica powder works, holy powder works. I really love working with holy powder. Different ways to apply the paint work. You don't just have to dip dye it into. You can hand paint. You can brush with watercolor. You can use watercolor liquid. You can use airbrushes. If you have a medium that you really enjoy, there is probably a way that you can use it with the wood flowers, which is just amazing. It really is a catalyst to be able to just branch out into your creativity, and you can make them look as realistic as possible or as futuristic as possible. You could pick whatever color your heart desires for a flower to be, and it can happen. You can glitterify the heck out of it and add as much glitter and sparkle that you want. You can put patterns on it. I have a tutorial coming up. I'm trying something. I think it's gonna work. And for those who love to make things fantastical, or you love paper flowers or book page flowers, we might have something that we can do to adjust the flowers, but that's in a future tutorial if it works out. So I'm gonna play. But anyway, when it comes to dyeing the flowers, it is very, very easy. Again, I will link that one video that shows how to dye the flowers and how to stem the flowers. All of our flowers do not come with stems, except for there is a handful, like our hydrangeas in particular. Hold on. I know this is a lot of talking in this video. This hydrangea bloom does come with a stem. Now this one I've already dyed. Again, we have videos upon videos of how to work with the hydrangeas too, so you can make them look as realistic if you want, or again, as fantastical. I'm gonna be doing a project coming up soon where this is gonna not look anything like a hydrangea bloom when I'm done with it, but these will come with their own stem. Most of our flowers, 99.9% of them do not come with stems. All you're gonna need is, the easiest thing to start out with is a floral wire stem. 18 gauge is my favorite. It's not too stiff, but it's not too wimpy either. Your flowers aren't going to fall and kind of get weighed down. The thinner wires sometimes, depending on the size flower you're using, are going to be a little bit heavier. Now they are very lightweight and they feel like foam. It's a mind bend sometimes when you're talking about these flowers, because as soon as you say wood flowers, you're thinking like heavy and thick and not a lot of movement, but these are actually very soft to the touch. They feel like foam. When they're wet, they are very like pliable, and then they dry in place. Once they are dyed, really, there's not a lot of transfer of color unless you were like overly saturating with a ton of paint that it hasn't like fully seeped into the petals, I would say. So you don't really have to worry about a lot of color transfer, but if you ever worried, do your own tests and try it out first to make sure you feel good. And they're definitely better for indoor use. You can use them outdoors, but they're not gonna last very long. When they're put in the elements, they will do what they do. They're going to fade. They're going to potentially mold. They will fall apart because they are a natural material and the elements will break them down over time. But I will say I put wreaths out every year. They have a little bit of protection, but they're not like behind a glass door or anything like that. They are still outside, and they last at least a season, if not two. And from a distance, they look great. When you look up close, then you start to notice maybe some of the mold spots, or some of the flowers have been eaten by birds. Birds like these for some reason. So keep that in mind too. I've had bird nests made in some of my wreaths and things like that, which I just think is magical. So they can be outdoors. Some of our customers like to use them at cemeteries. If you're going to do something like that, just know that you're going to have it replaced. It's not going to last forever, but indoors, years and years and years. You can use these flowers as is for years, and you're not going to really notice any changes to them as long as you keep them out of direct sunlight. The sun fades things. So if you dyed them or even kept them raw, they may start to kind of go in a more yellow color tone because there's tannins in the wood, and it's a natural reaction that happens when being exposed to the sun for a very long time. So there you go. That's all the stuff. Let's make a potpourri thing now. Holy buckets. There was so much talking. Hopefully that was enjoyable. But yeah, you could do an entire just thing of wood flowers as your potpourri mix, but today we're gonna do something else. We're gonna add our potpourri in here. Oh, that's noisy. Oh yeah. Oh, that is my grandma right there. Sorry, I'm gonna take a moment. I'm missing her a lot lately. And she really did like the scent of like apples and cinnamon. But if you're loving, say, lavender and eucalyptus, you could have those scents in there. So I'm going to add, so it's got a real good apple scent to it. So I have some cranberry oil. I'm just gonna dab a little bit of this oil onto here, and we're gonna mix our, so I'm just putting a couple. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. I'm just gonna put a couple in there. And to all my lovely wood flower artists that are looking for maybe something to add to their repertoire, I say big words that I don't even know if I'm saying them right. I don't know why I am the way I am. But anyway, if you're wanting to add something into your offerings for craft shows or for your stores that maybe you sell wholesale or consign at, this might be another thing that might be interesting to you. Or you yourself are already a fragrance maker. You could use the wood flowers for something like oil diffusers on the tops of them. We have a video all about that, as well as you could use for air fresheners, car fresheners, but also maybe you want to get into potpourri. Maybe that's something that is interesting to you. And again, you don't have to use the dyed flowers. The raw flowers will work just as well and are just as pretty. But if you wanted to add a little bit of color into the mix, you absolutely could. I'm gonna grab just a couple more. Where did my flowers go? Oh, there they are. We're gonna add just a couple more in here up onto the top. I'm kind of seeing what we've got going on here. Oh, it smells so good. Smell-o-vision. That's what they should be taking time to figure out. How can we get smell-o-vision to be a thing instead of some of these other silly things? Has become our prime focus. That would benefit humankind way more. And then this potpourri thing has the little on there. So now everything is contained. And now we have a beautiful floral. Oh, I'm loving that. I'm gonna put it on the back wall. I gotta get all my Christmas stuff out of here. We're gonna get all happy Valentine's Day-y. We will have a Valentine's style video probably coming as well, but we've already started doing that over on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, which might be gone by the time this comes up. It won't be gone, but it's on its last leg. So we've got videos coming up in all of the places. So check those all out if you'd like to hang out with us. We also have a Facebook group. We'd love to have you there. We do lots of, that's kind of a place to get first info about things that are going on. We also do a lot of community outreach to try to make sure that, you know, the direction we're going is the direction that y'all want to go along with us. We're working on potentially a retreat this year, which is freaking awesome. If you're interested in that, if you want to hang out with me and Maggie for a long weekend, it'll be a crafty long weekend. It'll be a ton of fun. We do have a sign up on our website right now for you to sign up for the newsletter about that. So you'll be in the know when the sign up for the retreat actually happens. It is going to be very limited. We want to keep it a little bit on the smaller side. It is our first one, and we also just want to be able to truly make it an experience for those that want to come and hang out with us. A really thoughtful and very planned out event so that you get the best experience possible. And we don't think that we can do that with a huge, large amount of people at once, but this will be a good rollout of it. And if it goes well and everybody enjoyed their time, I'm sure there will be more in the future. So take a look at that. I'll make sure to link that down below too. Hopefully I remember. So I hope this video was one of those. I know it was a little bit different than what most of our tutorials are. If you're new here, hi again. Make sure to go check out all of our past videos. There's, I think it's over 300 now. We did not reach my goal of 25,000 followers before the end of 2024. However, we are only, I think we're less than 100 away. So we could make it to have 25,000 followers in 2025, maybe the first month of 2025. That would be kind of cool. We'll have a celebration then. So anyway, I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely day. I'm gonna do all of the YouTube things now, all right? So if you're loving this channel, can't get enough, wanna hang out with me once a week, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell. Again, we post videos typically once a week, usually around Wednesday, but we'll see what happens this year. We also do a lot of short form content, lots of deep dive tutorials. We also do a live craft video every week over on Facebook. It's Thursday nights. We're also talking about maybe doing a daytime one and mixing it up a little bit. That's all in talks right now. But anyway, you can hang out with us pretty much anywhere if you'd like, whatever your preferred platform is. We are there. Also, if there's a new platform that you think we should be hanging out on, let us know. We'll take a look at that as well. We're always looking to grow and connect with people where they're at. And again, my push this year is really to encourage and inspire creativity in the way that I know how, which is by sharing. So hopefully you want to subscribe, hang out, drop some ideas, thoughts, love in the comments. I would really love it. Give it a thumbs up even. That helps more than you know. Watching all the way through this, you just made my day. So thank you so much. I will see you next week for another tutorial. I'm Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely. You, my friends, absolutely lovely.